guys? What up? Back, my nigga. Oh, Joy's in the building. Yes, and so today is another episode of the Showbiz on KSS with me, Her Excellency Nana Amafuswa. And today's discussion is a very interesting one. I thank all of you for the reviews and everything. Keep the support coming, keep the likes and the comments and the shares coming. So I'm going to go straight into today's conversation. We are discussing the Ghana film industry. Okay, so over the weekend, Jackson K. Bentum, who happens to be a director of the Kumawood, one of the renowned directors in Kumawood, stated that we need a lot of cinemas to help revive Kumawood. And we do not want to look at just Kumawood, but we're looking at the whole industry. Okay, we are looking at the whole Ghanaian film industry. And so with me in the studios, I have from my left, Ola Pachowabu Dinimame.
Your friend Ola Kokuntiamo.
Michael.
Ola Michaels, you know.
Debbie Essenkamp.
Essenkamp. Oh, Ola Michael. Yes, so Ola Michael is in the house. And by popular request, Kojo Prekodankwa is in the building again. And to my right, I have with me
Samuel Uso, sorry.
AKA
I guess
Rasta.
AKA
TP Clan.
AKA Samir Rasta, AKA TP Clan.
Yeah.
TP Clan. Where from TP Clan?
TP Clan is it's known to the film fraternity. That was
Right.
my studio's name.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I've edited over 300 movies with that
right.
studio. So
Yeah, right. So if you're heat, Baba. So if you're a fan of Ghanaian movies, okay, if you've been watching back to back, especially Kumawood movies, the name Samuel Owusu-Asare, I believe that you'll be very familiar with it. And so let me get into this. Let me start from you, Rasta. Jackson K. Bentum said on an interview with Kwame Dadzi that I think he's thinking, or in his opinion, he thinks that if we build a lot of cinemas, the industry that we are thinking, well, he does not think is dead, but the industry that we think is dead shall rise again. Now, my question is, if the industry is not dead, what is going to rise?
No, the film industry has never been dead.
Okay, so you think it's not dead?
No, we're just facing some challenges and all that with marketing and a lot of things. So it doesn't mean I can't remember the last time that production of film ceased, like total breakdown, like no one is shooting. I don't remember that period. So definitely some people are shooting and then work is still going on, but as to how we used to know the film industry, how it was vibrant, like it employed a lot of people, that it has gone down. So the film industry has never been dead.
So you want to say it has gone down, but you don't want to say it's dead?
Facing some challenges. Yes.
Okay, so back then, okay, there was a back-to-back productions, movies. In a week, you have about 2-3 movies, and you've mentioned that there's some challenges. Can you highlight some of the challenges?
No, our problem is centered around two things: funds and distribution.
Okay.
We catch you say film problem, Kasiebi or baby is a lie. Funds for production and distribution. That's the key problem that we are facing in the industry now. But
he mentioned if distribution is one factor, then I think I agree with Jackson K. Bentum that cinemas can also contribute to that.
Cinemas has always been the first revenue for filmmaking in the world. It's unfortunate that in our part of this world, we decided to kick that thing away and then concentrate on CD production. And now there's no CD production.
You think we have kicked away cinemas?
I've been on record to have predicted whatever we are saying about 10, 12 years ago in Kumasi. Boss FM. You can't have a successful film industry without cinema. In the world, even as we always compare our film to Nigerians, and Nigerians are surviving because of cinema at the moment in Nigeria.
Really?
Yes.
You do not think it is because their population is a little higher?
No,
than ours? It's not like little.
So
it's way higher than ours. We're looking at a population of over 200, 300 million people. And compared to a population of over 30 million or something.
But we still have people in Ghana. So even if we are 5 million, we need people to go out to watch. So what I'm trying to say is that he called for cinemas. It's a good call.
Okay.
But like I always say, who are you calling to build the cinemas for you? Is it the government? Then if we want to depend on the government for cinemas, then we will spend like 10 years fighting to be relevant or whatever to get the film industry. Because in Nigeria, they have over 206 cinemas. How many of them belongs to the government? And you call for cinemas. So let's say Ola has $5 million in his account. And he's interested in movie distribution through cinema. What is the data? Like, what are you presenting to Ola to convince him that, Ola, this will give you money, so build cinema here, build cinema here, build cinema here. We always use the Nigerians as a case study. Nigerians did not one day wake up to have 206 cinemas at a go. They started from somewhere. Some of the big productions were showing their movies in hotel halls, big auditoriums, and all that. So when they started getting the numbers, then the investors will start coming in. So now we should be crying for fans to produce movie, and in our own way, let us not just put our movies in Silverbird cinemas and go and sleep. We should be hiring halls. Okay. Collaborating with students to show in campuses and other places. We can't only premiere movie in Accra and we go and sleep. Whilst when you go to Sunyani, there are places, there are halls that you can show the movies with projectors and all that. So if we do this and we see that the industry is picking up, people are moving out to cinemas to watch our movies and all that, then the investors can jump in and say, okay, let me go and build a cinema in Sunyani, let me build one in Kumasi, let me build one here. Because now you are calling, just as I used to say to the previous NFA boss, you are calling investors to come and build cinemas. They had a cinema week or whatever. You call them to come. Which movies are you going to put in the cinemas for their investors to get their money back? We are not shooting. Once in a while, if one else will put one movie in the cinema, Kobirana will do it. Look at how Kobirana does his movie at a go. Maybe 5 locations, 10 locations, 12 at a go. That is what we should be learning. And stop saying that the government should. The government has no cinemas for us. Excuse me to tell my brothers. The government will not do that. So let's do it on our own. Let's learn from Kobirana and all those. Kofi Samoa used to premiere his movie across the country and it was working for him. Why wouldn't we follow the same thing? We only want to complain to the government, do this for us. While we are sleeping.
Right.
Jackson has directed a movie for Lil Wayne.
Okay.
They will premiere it in Kumasi, one hall, and then they'll come to Accra. That's all. That's all.
Right, let's hold on to the premiers and then let me get to Ola. And Ola, still on this cinema, Sami raised a very important point that we are not producing, and we expect that cinemas will be built for us to premiere what exactly. Back in the day, we it wasn't back in the day in Ghana, there was a time where, we're getting back to back. Our movie industry was really thriving. We did not have these investors that we are calling for now. The same cinemas that we are crying for, we did not have them now. So what exactly is the problem now?
Problem with the industry.
With the industry. Because now, when you raise the topic of our industry being dead, they do not want to hear we say it's being dead. Okay, so now, when we talk of our industry going down, Okay, there are a lot of concerns are being raised. The fact that there are not enough cinemas, the fact that there are no investors, the fact that the government is not supporting.
They are all
but at
part
the
of the
time,
problems.
they are part of the problem. But back in the times when we were being consistent with our movies, when we were giving back-to-back movies, when we were having Nigerians coming from Nigeria to Ghana to come and shoot movies here, we did not have the government supporting, or then it was different from now. If it was not, then what has changed?
Okay. First of all,
Okay.
no creative industry dies.
Okay.
A creative industry will die when the last creative dies.
Okay.
Film industry is a creative industry.
Right.
It cannot die. So when you hear people say the movie industry is dead, it's people speaking out of ignorance.
Okay.
A film industry is not just about feature films. Feature films is the one that is time bound. Time bound because you have been made to understand and know that when you go to cinema, you're watching a movie that's 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Right.
Sometimes you have 2 hours. These days, most of the films are getting 2 hours. These are feature-length films. But you can also have a movie that will be broken down into series. So you can have 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes per episode. Those are part of the film industry. You can also have a film that we call short film that can be just about 15 minutes.
Right.
That is also a film. So if all these things are happening, you cannot be saying that film industry is dead. No.
Okay.
First point, no.
Right.
As we speak now, there are people who are shooting for TV. If you turn on these television stations that are predominantly three, let me even start with them. You see a lot of series going on
Right.
back to back. All these people are actors and producers. So there's a film industry that is working. The difference,
But it's not thriving,
it is. If it's not, why are they working?
really.
The difference-
Are we? Okay.
The difference is that what you knew to be a thriving industry was where we used to have part 1 and 2 always screaming in your face and ears. During those periods, the television films were not being produced. All the focus was on feature. So everybody was shooting for CDs, everybody was shooting for cinema, the few cinemas. But now, people have changed or directed their attention to the televisions and the onlines, and they are shooting back to back each and every day. In fact, people are making more money today from acting than when we used to have what you call thriving industry.
Right.
So it is not like, okay, so maybe I can understand people that say that their focus and their understanding of the industry was what they used to know. But I'm telling you today, it is wrong. It is thriving. It depends on where you are looking at or what your involvement is. I'll give you an example. Some of the people that shoot skits now, when we used to have them in film, we were paying them per production. Some of them were getting as low as 300 Ghana cedis for a full-length film shot. Now, the least paid person is getting 300 cedis a day. Previously, he would have gotten 300 cedis over 2 weeks, but now it's a day. So if I should bring this person into a feature and he's taking 300 cedis a day, that's the least.
Right.
Multiply that one by just 10 days of shooting. That's what? That's 3,000.
3,000.
He wouldn't have made that much if we're doing as we used to. So this means it's thriving in their pockets. Do you get it? And there are others who are getting dollars from these same productions online. So it is thriving because now they are able to build their mansions. Previously, they couldn't even afford the land.
But do you agree with me that the consistency is not like it used to be? The part 1 and 2s that you're talking about, we still have it. I hate to compare our industry to the Nigerian industry, but since you brought the 1 and 2 part of it, let me do this. Nigerians are producing films that have 1 and 2. Yes, so that has not changed.
But we call them feature films.
Okay,
But
so
the point I was making is that we seem to have been obsessed with that as the baseline for our knowledge of an industry. And I'm broadening that knowledge to tell you that is not a definition for an industry. A film industry has got so many types of films being shot. It's, in fact, even documentaries. People are shooting documentaries back to back. These are all part of film industry. So unless or until the last production dies and the last creative dies, you can never say a film industry is dead.
So you think there's nothing wrong with our film industry right now?
There's something
The
wrong
current
with some
state-
parts. There's something wrong with some part of the industry, but not the whole industry.
So which
and that
parts?
part of the industry is where my brother Jackson was talking about. He only picked one problem out of the lot, because he's now involved in some of the films that are being premiered. Because previously Jackson was not shooting for premiere; he was shooting for CDs. So, and I remember we used to tell these people about premiering. They're like, they were so obsessed with the marketing. Let's go to the KJTR, Oprah Square. Let's go sell. And yes, when we used to sell there, I can just give my movie by 1 week time. I'm going there and I'm carrying about 100,000 Ghana cedis cash, just in a week. That was good business. But we don't have that anymore. And they were thinking that the cinema, how long are you going to go around, be showing show? The last time I premiered a film, I ran loss. The only place I made money was in Accra. You were mentioning Kofi Asam, asking why did he stop the nationwide tour of film? You go to places and you only have to open for free gate.
Now, let me ask
you
you
get
this
it.
question.
So the part where we're suffering is where I'm telling you that the feature part is rather the place that is suffering. It's suffering because, one, we don't have people that are putting much money in there because they don't know how they're going to get the money back. Okay. And when I'm putting my money in a production, I need to know how am I going to get this money. Previously, when we were doing the CDs, I knew that, this film I can sell about 100,000 CDs or 200,000 CDs, and I know how much a CD will cost. So I can just sit back and have an estimation of how much I'm going to make. But now you can't do that.
Right.
Now, even if you bring the biggest stars in Ghana to shoot, you still don't know how much you're going to make from that movie because you don't know who is coming and who is not. Secondly, like he mentioned, you don't even know where you are going to show them. If you show them in Kumasi and Accra, then you think about, okay, so where? I went to Sunyani, I sent people to show my film in Sunyani. And the acceptance, it was not like you have in Kumasi and Accra. The reason why the Hollywood people and the Bollywood people would do premiering and they say, okay, we did this weekend, they are showing in all cinemas because they don't want the vibe to die. But our situation here, I show in Accra, and it's all over the social media. Everybody is talking about the film. But the person in Sunyani, it would take him 2 weeks to see it. By that time, the vibe died. You have watched it here. You have a friend in Sunyani. Sinini crying. The vibe has died.
Right.
That is why he's saying that if we had a lot of cinemas, we could do the box office kind of premiering, where at the end of a weekend or at the end of a month, you know that, this guy had the highest box office for this film. But we don't have that. And Sami is saying it's not government that's supposed to build. Yes, government is not supposed to do everything. But people will invest in cinemas when they see what they are going to get.
Right.
We used to have the largest number of cinemas in Africa. Nigeria, you were mentioning, I think they have less than 100 now.
Now they have 206 across.
Okay, I just check online. They said they have less than 100 now. They say 80 something.
Okay.
With some mini cinemas. When India realized that not everybody was interested in going to the IMAX cinemas or going to the 3D, 4D cinemas to pay high to watch, they started developing what they call community-based cinemas. They call it mini theater, where you can have just about 200, 300 people watching a film maybe in a certain community. And they had it all across. So people get access to the movies and they make more money. But here, we have only 3 cinemas. The whole of Ghana, 3 cinemas. We have Silverbed Company,
Snap.
and then you have Snap. Snap is really not a cinema.
Okay, but we
We actually decide to convert it, but it's not a cinema. It's
a hall.
Okay, Snap can be part of the screens,
Okay.
but not really a cinema.
Yeah.
You see, there are screens where you can show films, like he mentioned, where you can just use a projector. You count that as screens. But if you are talking about cinema, where you have that ambience that you feel in a cinema, Snap is not one of them. So you have Silverbed, both Accra Mall and West Hills. Then you have Eagle in Kumasi. And the same Kumasi has got SNG. What's the name? The one at the top high. Yeah, SNF or SNG Cinema. That can take less than 300 people. SG Cinema, right? That can take less than 300 people. That's all. We don't have any other cinema. So why would I give you, Nana, $100,000 or $100,000 to shoot a film when you cannot even tell me how you're going to get the money back? How many cinemas do you have? Silverbed, when you go, if you are not intelligent like Sami,
Okay.
and if you are unintelligent like me, they will take 60% of your revenue. And you also, out of your 40%, you are also paying taxes from it. So by the time you realize you don't have anything, most of the people that go to show films at Silverbed, let them tell the truth.
Exactly. Inti, that is where my next question is going to come from. We are saying that if an investor is coming on and you're giving me 100,000 cedis, you need to tell me how you're going to get that 100,000 cedis back. Why do we not believe in the quality of our product? Now we're not giving quality, and so we know we won't get it back. Cinemas that are working right now, that's 3 cinemas that we have. If a movie is being premiered, how many people are we able to fill all of the cinemas? If we are unable to, what are we not doing right?
What we are not doing right is, one, maybe because I don't know how much I'm going to make out of the film, I don't know why I should invest my whole revenue in it, because some of us have invested our revenue in films and we never made the money back. We ended up selling our Japade to pay the money back. And so I don't want to make that mistake. And
the problem is not because Ghanaians do not like films.
No,
Ghanaians like films.
That's the second point I was coming to.
Okay.
The Ghanaians used to love cinema in the 70s all the way through to the 80s and early 90s. Oh, when they hear there's a new film, everybody's rushing to Opera and all those mini cinemas to go and watch. But the same Ghanaians that said, yeah, brand cinema now they wanted disco.
So why the cry for cinemas?
The cry for cinemas is to make an investor have an estimation of how he's going to get his revenue back. Did you get it?
Okay.
I cannot call for an investor to invest in my movie that is going to be shown on YouTube, because he's thinking, how long? Especially if I'm yet to start the channel.
Okay.
So why should I give you $50,000 to go and shoot for YouTube? How am I going to get this 50,000? They can't. You can't tell the person. So the cry for cinema is to give us an estimation, an avenue to be able to estimate that I can make money out of this for you. The cry for cinema is also help to bring back the love for cinema, because people have been indoors for too long. And they've been having too much sex and having too much kids. So if you have a cinema interest in people, they rather not want to stay indoor and be having too much sex. They want to go to cinema and have fun and watch film. Okay. Do you get it? We killed that cinema culture, and then the cinemas were sold. So if you want to bring the cinema back, it will bring back the culture, and people will want to watch. Then the next thing that will be left when we have the cinemas is how to market that film so that everybody wants to go and watch. Did you get it? Right. Somebody did straw, and unfortunately, it was online, and people were watching it for free in Ghana. Imagine with the buzz that the film had. Imagine it was difficult for anybody to have access to it online. The only place you could watch it was a cinema. Are you not sure that all the 3 cinemas you have in Ghana would have been full to capacity? Because I've seen a film being premiered in Ghana at Silverbed, and they had to do it over 4 days and was still full.
In 1 week.
Yeah, even 1 week. I remember this
Black Panther. First. I actually went to the cinema
back to back, and they even had accidents. Stampede there. Yeah. Why people want to watch Black Panther? Because where else will you find it to watch?
Okay.
So these are the challenges. We need the cinemas to bring back the cinema culture, and then we also have to not forget that if you want to bring back the cinemas, then you should work on your online presence, because I'll get a movie to watch before it comes to your cinema.
Okay, I think that is another point. Let me come to you, Kojo. Away from the cinema, okay, let us talk generally about our industry. Ola has mentioned other content apart from our featured films. When you talk about films, there are lots, and it seems as if Ghanaians are not interested in our own. That is what it seems like. I do not know if it is a problem, because if you're looking at those who are doing cheap contents, there's been instances where non-Ghanaians have raised concerns about how Ghanaians are doing content just for Ghanaians because of the language barrier. But we have Indians doing Indian content. We have a lot of people watching all these K-dramas, and they follow and would want to watch the next episode and want to watch another even after finishing the ones they're watching. I think there's a problem. I still think there's something. We're not giving quality. We are not promoting ourselves enough. What is it that we are not doing right? Okay, why are we not penetrating the other markets? If Nigerians are producing and they're getting over 2 million views, out of that 2 million, I believe that 500,000 of them are Ghanaians.
Okay.
I like the word you use, penetrate. I mean, we need to understand how we can penetrate into the.
You like that word? You like it? Cause you like penetration.
Oh, why not? I mean,
you like it. You like penetration.
It's one word that it gives you too many things to talk about. But you see, I'm happy the movie brothers have spoken.
Right.
No, they've spoken. They've really spoken. But we'll go street.
Yes.
Okay.
We won't speak their language.
No.
We want them to understand what we
What
understand.
we-
Then they
exactly.
can solve it for us.
Yes.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Okay. So when they hear that they say the movie industry is dead,
That they do not want to hear.
they will hear today. When they hear that it is
They
dead,
want you to say that now Allah is even saying it is not down, it's still thriving. Just that you're facing
You see,
about one or
they-
two challenges.
that's what I'm heading towards. So they say it is dead. They should see it as symbolic. It is not that we say it is dead.
Okay.
Why? Previous government which was on,
Okay.
we said that the economy is dead. Didn't we say that?
We did.
But symbolically, we were alive.
Yes,
We were chopping.
leaving.
We were living.
Right.
Monies were coming. We were borrowing.
Blowing fast.
We were blowing stuff. You understand?
Right.
But the economy was dead. Why was it dead? It was dead because certain structures and pillars and directions were not taken seriously.
Right.
You understand?
Okay.
Good. So the two of them, our movie brothers here, should understand that when we say their movie industry is dead, they should accept that it is dead on certain principles.
Okay.
And that is why you use the right word. It is not thriving. And I'm worried how Ola came about with a certain data
That
to
is
tell all of
thriving.
us that it is thriving because somebody is getting 3,000.
Okay.
Which data did he use? Even his own movie industry from day one does not even have data. For him to even come and tell all of us that it is thriving because one person is getting 300 per day.
Okay.
Therefore, it is thriving. When somebody is having over 86,000 cinemas, when countries like China, which is leading in terms of screens, when Indians and the Japans and the South Koreas are leading, and France and Italy, you hear talking about 3,000. See, they should understand the fact that certain pillars within the movie industry in this country is not standing firm. Therefore, we can agree to it that when we say it is dead, they should take it like that. One of them is what we are talking about as a cinema.
Okay.
We don't have. And it is killing the industry. And we are saying it is thriving. If you don't have cinemas, how do you show movies for the one who invested into it
Right.
to get the monies back through tickets? Therefore, if you can't even find investors who are not happy to put or inject money, in as much as like Rasta said, we have held cinema summits here, even in Ghana here, yet we have not seen, not even one, to come and tell us that I want to invest into cinema in this country called Ghana. In as much as you don't have the so-called populations that we think we should have, but your system will produce a lot of people to come to the cinemas. Let's say investors who want to do things that people love. So then they should understand that their movie industry is dead on arrival because you lack these cinemas. You lack the things that make a movie or a movie sector thrive. You don't have.
Right.
Do you understand? You don't have.
Before you go on, I want to understand this. I'm very particular. Okay, so if you listen, a couple of times when I tend to ask questions, I talk about the quality of our productions.
We're
Don't you
going to go
think?
there. We're going to go there.
Okay, because if we're talking about cinemas, how are cinemas going to give us quality movies?
No.
So I think we should. Personally, I do not think that cinemas are even a priority when it comes to,
So
looking to-
when we talk about quality, equally Hollywoods and all those areas have the same kind of cheap kind of movies that they do.
But at least it's better.
I mean,
than-
they show us certain things because we think they are white, and that is why it is. I
believe
mean,
them.
if you really ask the movie guys like Ola and they can really pinpoint certain. I mean, movies that are coming from India, coming from China, coming from US that are cheap
Right.
that they will not dare even put or invest their money in. But the point is that it is because it is coming from the white man. So we think that it is quality. Do you understand? What we should also understand is that every continent and every country has its own way of telling their story.
Exactly.
Okay? We cannot tell an American story. We cannot do that. Americans want to tell their story because of war. They will want to tell it. They will want to get into that space and show you who they are to the world. We want to tell culture. We want to tell certain things that happen within our space for them to buy into it. You have bought into their own to the extent that you will want to now kiss me at the mall. But culturally, it is not. My storytelling will not allow me to do that. So there are different ways of getting these stories done, and that is why most of these movies that we do, really connect with us. And African continent is huge for us to even connect very well before we even want to talk about outside and all that. But we have not even milked within the continent in itself. Almost 51 to 52 countries. We have not even milked the whole thing. I'm waiting for us to go to cinemas to go and watch Kenyan movie here, or for Kenyans to watch Shelley performances or probably Rasta's movie in Kenya. We have not even exhausted that for us to even think about going to Hollywood and all that, because the moment you do that, that is when they find it necessary to see or draw attention to what you're doing. Okay, good. So cinema is one of the pillars that we are losing. Therefore, they are dead. 2, investment is a problem. We are not getting the investors. Why are we not getting the investors? And that is where your qualities comes in. Is it the fact that the quality of the story writing is not too high for people to get into it and say, I'm investing, I'm going to put in $100 million and I'm going to get back a $200 million? Is it the fact that we are not doing what is right? Is it that what we hear, for instance, with the same Kumawood people, that they don't go with scripts, that they stand there and then friends saying, Ola will tell them that catch and they say, no, you say action, then they go. Is it that kind of movie that we are still doing from ages? If it is so, then we are tackling ourselves, then it is dead. Because then we are not going according to structures, according to what movies are supposed to be done. So then we will lack. So it is dead, symbolically. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Again, if you say it is dead, then we should also understand the fact that whilst your own counterparts, whether from South Africa or from Nigeria, are testing the waters with the quality that I watch on Netflix, coming from these same Nigerians, South Africans, and all those other countries on Netflix, and I can't find 1 or 2 or 3 or more of my own, then it tells you that we are lacking something. What are we lacking? Is it connect? Is it the fact that we are not getting serious areas to shoot what we want to shoot? Indeed, we have serious, locations that we can shoot. Because somebody came here, Idris Elba came here to go to Kofredo and go and shoot a movie, and it is big in the world. So it means that we can stand a test of time and know that we have to do something here. Do you understand? If again it is not, then we will not find the same Idris coming back twice, previous government, now government, to still insist that he wants to build, a film, village in this country. You want to see your film grow, yet you have not even one better, proper, infrastructured, well film village. One we call the Hollywoods or the Bollywoods. You don't even have one. So you are dead on arrival. If you can't have these structures that can even employ, the same way we keep saying and hammering on that movies can employ too many people, that is when you can understand that we are doing that. But we don't even have a proper film village where we can go do or shoot movies. We don't even have cameras, logistics. It's a big challenge for them. And they know that a kind of quality that people are using now, they don't have. So it is dead.
We have.
If they have,
Says they have.
Hold on.
Equipment in Ghana.
If they have,
we have.
Oh,
we
if
have
they have,
in abundance.
but
we have all the quality cameras.
They watch me.
I have all of them.
Let them put everything for them. Make them tell us whether they have the quality. And let us show the quality.
Which camera are they using out there to shoot
Sammy,
cinema movies that we don't have in Ghana?
Have all this equipment and the gadgets that you're talking about.
You have all these.
It's the investment. You talked about investment.
But how do you get these equipment when you don't have investment?
For instance, if I want to hire a red to shoot,
okay,
I am going to pay not less than 2,500 a day, 3,000. Then I'll have to hire cinema lenses, about 6 or so. So with camera alone, I am spending like 5,000 a day.
Okay.
You understand? Therefore, if I don't have the investment,
you will go where?
I'll go for black magic.
And then at the end of the day,
so that's why we are saying it's not like we don't have the equipment here, but it's the investment. How much are we spending to shoot the movie?
Sammy, I think
but you see, if I have all this equipment here, before you come in, if I have this equipment here, and per the calculation Sammy just did, then I have to check out with all my equipment. Then again, because then you are dead. You don't even have what it takes to even rent that particular quality camera to do your to have your movie. Then you are dead.
You are not.
Why are you not dead?
There are even producers who are shooting TV series with red camera in Ghana.
Which of the red?
Dragon.
You are still talking red dragon, the one that they drink when they sleep, or which one they talk about?
No,
which
not
one?
Red, not red.
So because they talk so they say red camera.
What I'm trying to say is, let's not base the conversation on equipment, because if you want standard equipment, I can guarantee you have enough to produce the standard out there.
But is that person holding on to this equipment?
Let me ask this. Sammy, with all of the productions that you've done, okay, with all of the equipment that you're saying, can you identify a movie, okay, that was produced with this quality gadgets that you're talking about? Because personally, I would want to do that comparison. Because I have not seen any. I'm not saying they're doing well, they're doing their part, but I think that, and then also, if you want to talk about quality of
Online last movie, you used red.
Talking about quality of production.
No,
a madman.
See, if we want to talk about quality of production, okay, I do not limit quality to just the cameras and the lighting. Quality, okay, in our stories. Kojo said something that I am very, very interested in. The fact that we cannot tell American story the Ghanaian way. It is impossible. We have stories. We have personalities. We have icons that we can produce from their stories. And then I tell you, we'll be everywhere. And if we want to do this the African way, we have seen movies where at Kumawood, at some point, we're telling you movies about Yas and Toa, and you have somebody being stabbed. I remember on one of the platforms, we had one makeup artist who was a Ghanaian but does not work in Ghana. And he was talking about the fact that Ghanaian producers do not even want to engage makeup artists who would give them quality makeup. You want to do a movie where someone has been stabbed and their intestines are taken out. A typical Ghanaian producer would want an editor to do that. Whereas a makeup artist can just, tie some rope.
How can an editor edit a man standing with no stabbing? You will edit intestines out. I mean,
it is done. We have seen it in a lot of our movies. Ola. It happens. Whereas we can have, I tell you, even a crow, say you have a wound. I've seen a movie where there was a wound, a Ghanaian movie, where there's a wound, and the wound was edited.
No.
The wound was wounded. Wound was wounded. This is a technological wound. What are you talking?
What we are talking about?
It is true.
Kojo said that.
Listen, we are not saying this. We're not saying this.
There are challenges, but let me tell you, there are producers who are producing movies now that you can compare it to the South Africans, the Kenyans.
How many are there, and why are we not seeing them?
What I'm trying to tell you is that the bottom line of this is investment, because, for instance, Peter Sedufia built a whole set to shoot his film. Do you know how much that cost him? You understand? So if I, Sami, I'm having same kind of investment, I will also do probably maybe 2 times what he has done.
You know,
so what I'm trying to say is,
okay,
let us not limit the discussion like we don't have the equipment, we don't have this, we have them, but the investment is the problem. Because, for instance, I had an interview with Kumawood. I was telling him some years ago, I said I had a script there and the budget is around 200,000. He was like, 200, why? What are you going to spend 80 days? Are you going to like? But the script is still there.
Sammy, don't you think?
So if I have that investment,
okay,
probably you see that movie in Netflix and you'll be proud. But I don't have anybody to invest in that story, $200,000 budget story.
Okay.
That is what we are talking
Now,
about.
do you agree, okay, with all of this concerns that you have raised, with all of this, factors that you've pointed out being the reason why you're unable to produce quality movies? I expect the two of you, at least one of you, should talk about, should gather enough balls to talk about the fact that a lot of the producers are not loyal to investors. I have spoken to investors who have told me, okay, and then even yesterday, before I got here, I had a one-on-one discussion with one of them who told me that, Nana, can you imagine that a producer came to me with a budget of about 100,000, and then at the end of everything, when I watched the movie, and info that I gathered, he only invested about 45,000 in the movie. The remaining 55,000, I do not know what he did with it. Now, again, with all of this gadgets and equipment that you're saying we have in Ghana, if it was not the case of loyalty and trust issues, why would we have individuals or companies or production houses who will have all these gadgets and keep them inside? In Nigeria, I have worked, when I'm talking, and I keep mentioning Nigeria, it's because I have worked, I have not really been, but then I have shot 1 or 2 movies. And in one of the movies, Uchenna Mbonabo 1 and 2 productions, I worked with him somewhere around 2013, 2014. And even at the time, okay, there was this production house who had all of the gadgets and equipment that they wanted, but because they trusted themselves, they believed there was that loyalty between them, he can give him all of that. So I am coming on as a sponsor in my way, I'm coming on as an investor, not with physical cash, but with gadgets and equipment that you have. I am bringing it on. Let us give quality, let's produce quality. Then when there's any revenue, there's so many ways that you can share that. So don't you think that some of these investors, because I cannot say for everybody, or I cannot say everybody's disloyal, but talking to 1 or 2 people, production people, and even investors, this concern was raised as well. Don't you think it is something you should look at?
Well, definitely there are going to be people who will be disloyal, and of course there are directors. We know some directors who will talk on behalf of artists and end up chopping their monies, right, and all that. That's it will happen even if we are having a thriving industry. But the point is, we shouldn't paint the picture out there that we cannot equally produce the quality that the Nigerians are producing. We cannot produce like as the South Africans are producing. Okay. Me, I can bet my money on Ola if I have it, because I know
Ola can produce.
Yes, like the quality that I want, because I've seen what he's capable of doing. But where would that investor come from?
Now, I think the question should be, how do we gain the trust of investors? How do we make it attractive? Well, maybe Ola, let me ask this. How do we get investors to come on even without seeing anything? I don't know if it is possible. Is there a way that we can communicate with investors? Do we need a solid marketing team? How do we go about it?
He knows.
Because if investment is the only problem with our industry, because everything goes down to, if we're going to invest in quality. Have you invested in
tomato production before?
No, I haven't.
Do you know they are struggling with investors?
You're telling me.
People that do cashew are struggling with investors.
Okay.
Cocoa farmers are struggling with investors. The difference between the cocoa farmer and the tomato seller is that the tomato is perishable. The cocoa is not.
Okay.
cocoa farmers now, for years now, they have a way of selling their products. I mean, their product to a government institution that we used to call cocoa crache. Then they will buy the bags and give you money.
Right.
So if I'm putting my money in cocoa business, I know there's a ready market. Government, a year or so, a government will buy.
Right.
But the woman that I was listening to yesterday complaining about tomatoes going waste because there are no buyers. Her problem is that it's a perishable good. How many people are interested in buying it? When you buy what you eat and you leave the rest.
Right.
So she is complaining that even though we have had bumper harvest, but the foods are all going waste. The yam seller is complaining the same thing. The investor wants to know, okay, so what can I do with the waste? That's why somebody thought about having a paste out of tomatoes.
Right.
That's why somebody thought about how to preserve the whole tomato fruit and not to, make it into a paste. Are you getting the point? To get an investor, the investor need to have some sort of confidence in getting my money back. I mentioned it earlier. If I can invest $100,000 in a film and I don't know how I'm going to make the money back, why should I do it? I, sitting here, I would never go to an investor to convince the person to give me money to go and shoot a film. Now,
Why?
I have two people that want me to shoot for them. The previous times when they made their money, so they're excited. And I'm telling them the risk factor now, previously was 42%, but now it's 67%. If you should give me your money to shoot for you, I can't guarantee you getting the money.
So easy.
But
so
wait.
you admit
So
this.
now you see.
So wait.
You didn't hear?
Because
So now
this
you hear?
is actually a confirmation
So wait.
that the industry.
No, but if I was shooting for TV, it would have been a different conversation.
But then
But it's
it
still
will not be the
production.
quality you're looking for.
No, TV quality is supposed to be the same. There shouldn't be any difference.
Oh, but they're different.
So
I've
if
seen
there shouldn't be any difference,
people
then why-
shooting for Aquaba. Evander is shooting with expensive equipment,
Okay.
and it's the same quality. It doesn't have to be different because it's TV. Because now people are doing are encoding HDs, so you cannot give them poor SD productions. Because now people have imported 5K, 4K televisions, and they want to see quality. So quality is not something you should even talk about now. Look, Ghanaian quality is higher than Nigerian quality. I wonder why people make Nigerians look so
why-
different. Ghanaian quality is higher.
Okay.
Now, the reason why the investor is not willing to invest, because I've said it and repeating, he doesn't know how he's going to make his money back. And me as a producer, I can't convince you. I don't want to lie to you. But I also know that there's a way. When it's a film that we are shooting for cinema, I can't rely on 3 cinemas.
Right.
Do you get it? At the end of the day, if the cinema doesn't give you the money, my dad out. So sitting here and every day, what we are doing is how can we get the screens across the country to be incorporated into the cinema thing, so that when I take your money, I know that in Kumasi I have about 4 or 5 tertiary institutions that have got screens. We started this thing years ago at Sunyani. That time was Sunyani Poly. Now they call it tertiary university.
Right.
When they first built their assembly or auditorium, whatever, I went there to see it. I'm like, okay, so we can do a premiere here. They didn't agree. They thought I was joking. We did a premiere there and it worked. Because it was, the sitting arrangement was all like a cinema. The only challenge is that you don't have that ambience that you look for. Do you get it?
Okay.
So we are looking at, can we now convert some of these screens as showing centers? When we're able to do that, maybe we'll be making progress. Then when an investor comes or when I want to talk to you, I can tell you, okay, so I have 17 screens that can show this film. And out of these 17, I am sure that we can get about 2,000 people watching this film in the first night. And these 2,000 people, give or take, each is paying 100 cedis. That's about 2 million that I'm getting for you. That will entice you to want to invest in it. But if I can't give you these figures, Why would you want to invest when you don't know the end product or the end game? Would you get it? So there are investors, but we need certain things being done to convince them. That is what Jackson just mentioned. Lewin maybe doesn't care about this because maybe he knows the end game to his films. But I will not do that. No, I won't. If I want to shoot, I want to make sure that Nana makes money, she's going to get her money back. So please. And Kwadwo mentioned that the Nigerians, their films on Netflix and all. You see, Netflix moves the market. Netflix does not just do things anyhow. How many Ghanaians are subscribed on Netflix? Just last year, Netflix was contemplating leaving Nigeria. Why? Because they said people were more on Showmax than on Netflix. They had just about 696,000 subscribers. And the money they were pumping in the industry, they were not getting it back.
They have even stopped.
So they stopped even investing in Nigerian movies. And now Nigerians,
they can
because
only license it.
Yes, and then they show it for you.
But
and
they
then
are not
you get money based on the number of people that watch it. Now, the reason why they are suffering is because Showmax is giving cheaper rates, and then YouTube is getting much of the films. So why should I pay Netflix when I can watch you on YouTube, where I don't even need to subscribe? Do you see the difference? So even though you think Nigerians are thriving, they are struggling. And I said it yesterday that you wait, just wait. The plenitude of supply will affect their demand, and people will be looking elsewhere for film, and Ghana will be ready for them. We have been there before. We got to a point when we were shooting back to back, and Nigerians were all running here. They came to learn filmmaking here. Ask the Nigerians, they'll tell you their history. This is where they learn filmmaking from. But what? Because they have the numbers, we don't. That's the disadvantage. But I can also add that when you want to shoot a film in Ghana, it's more expensive than shooting in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So you give me 100,000 cities, I can shoot just one film in Ghana, but I can shoot like 4 in Nigeria with big stars. So you see, the dynamics are not the same. But I can tell you that when Ghana film industry, when things get better, the Nigerians will all run to watch our films and not we running to watch them because they love the way we talk.
No. And one thing is, I said our
We're
problem
wrapping up
is investment and distribution. Just as Ola said, I am not supposed to produce a movie and go around the country to distribute it. Why? That's not it. There should be that distributor who will take the movie from me. We go on a percentage basis. He runs all the ads or whatever and put it on the screen. That is what we are lacking.
A Silverbird is a distributor.
Yes, but when you go there, they don't want to do that with you. So until we get companies that are ready to distribute movies, then I can, feel that confident to say, give me 100,000 Ghana cedis, 100,000 whatever to shoot a movie because I know Ola will distribute it for me. And so we like I said, I'm not sure the government is going to put up these structures, but let's be creative enough. You understand? Let's be creative and then create halls to screen our movies. Yeah. And that's the way forward, because if you don't do that and we sit and complain we want cinemas, how many years will we do that? Let's improvise. Let's convert halls to screening centers. And of course, if I have a movie now that I want to premiere, I can say, okay, let me try and get like 10 halls across Ghana and premiere it at the same time, and let's see what will happen.
Right. Could you?
Yes, quick one. Governments only get interested in areas like this when they realize that they can make huge returns. Right. So, for instance, Ola knows and Sabi knows, for instance, that in Nigeria, under Jonathan Goodman, when they did a rebasing of the economy, they injected into Nollywood with the reason that they know that they can make that huge money from there. Today, as we're speaking, GDP, when it comes to it, they are realized when it comes to the movie industry. So they are still thriving. Whether they're not thriving on Netflix and all that, they are doing it. They've shown something. For us, we haven't shown anything yet. I mean, we are sitting here, we say we have NFA, National Film Authority, a film authority where even on the board, we're still talking about who to represent the board from these associations that are on the act.
I think the best person is Ola.
It doesn't belong there. But the funny thing here is that the moment Sami mentioned distribution, then what comes to mind is this: check the law. They have distribution association part of the board that makes up NFA.
Really?
As we speak.
Yes.
Their distribution, okay, their distribution were the Kantamanto distribution era.
Right.
They have not improved.
Things
They have not
evolved,
grown.
yes.
So when he is talking about, I need, a friend is saying, distributors for this, their own people for many years have not done that. For them, they would have been the ones to position now to be sharing for YouTube, to be sharing for the Netflix, and determining who should have this from Ghana and all that. But as we speak, we still have the old Opera Square Kantamanto people sitting on the board of NFA. And you are still saying that you are not broken. I mean, you are dead in quotes.
I think a whole workshop, you know, training, and then also new people needs to be introduced. It seems as if the people at the top are not willing to learn, are not willing to, should I say, evolve, and but anyways, this is where we end the conversation. Your final words before we leave.
Oh, thank you for inviting me here. I'm very passionate about film, so.
I know.
Any message you want to send to the government?
Oh, well, I think the NFA should start working.
Okay.
And then I'm sure the president had a vision for the film industry, and this can be carried through the NFA. So they should start working.
Thank you, Ola.
Yeah, don't can.
I repeat it.
NFA should start working. But as of now, we still don't have a board.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have a board, the executive secretary is
Right.
toothless.
Yeah.
She cannot do anything.
Right.
So as of now, we should have inaugurated the board,
The board.
so that the other teams and committees will start working,
Right.
and then we can know who to put the blames on if things are not going right.
Right.
So if the minister is watching, please, board and check.
do something. Kwadwo.
Yeah, I think that more said than done, we hope that we just revolve with time. I think we are too static, and that's the more reason why people believe that symbolically it is dead, because then they are not seeing that improvement. I mean, what we even ended with in terms of distribution, where Sami brought fantastic idea, but the point is, you can't even have one of a major distributor in the country for him to give you, technology-wise, they are dead. You understand? And I think that they have to improve. I mean, with that, they have to.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Kumawood.
Personally, what I'd like to add to this is that Ola mentioned cost of production, and I think it is one very important factor that needs to be considered, from location and your equipment rentals. I think that should be looked into. And then we're calling out to investors. Our industry can work again if only you invest in us. So please do, and let our film industry work again, because I believe that Ghanaians have a lot of stories to tell. Thank you so much for being a part of this very episode on Showbiz with KSS. My name is Nana Amafuso, call me Excellency, and I did not do this alone. I did this with Ola Michael Kojoprekodankwa and Sami Owusu-Asari, aka Sami Rasta, aka TP Clad. We're out.